Welcome everyone to another episode of Biblio Files, where we answer one book question in about 5 minutes. This is the Ann Arbor District Library site to talk about books. My name's Christopher and I'm here with Amanda and Lucy. And today's question is, what book do you never seem to get to? Amanda?
So there are a lot of books that I want to read, and I have a long list of them. But one that's high on my list of one that I've wanted to read for over 10 years is Monster by Walter D. Myers. It's a teen book. It won the Prince Award in 2000 for the most distinguished teen novel, and it looks like a really great book, and it's always on my list. So I unfroze my hold last night from the library's website so that hopefully this book will come in. So I think that this video will encourage me to actually get the book and read it. In the book, there's a teenage boy, I think he's 16, and he's in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he's on trial for a murder or accomplice of a murder. And there's some part of the narration is him. He is into film, so part of it is written in script form. So I think it'll be a really cool way to read a novel. Plus, it's like a super acclaimed novel, and it's one of those like, why have you not read this book? So I'm looking forward to it. Monster by Walter D. Myers. Lucy, what do you not get to?
So there's a lot that I don't get to that, like, and classics I want to read. But right at the beginning of, when everything closed down, the beginning of this time period, I made this announcement to my family, like, all right, this is now when I'm going to read Wolf Hall. And I still have not read Wolf Hall. But it was on my list like way before that. And everyone I know who's read it has really enjoyed it. It's the first of a trilogy about Thomas Cromwell. And then the author, Hilary Mantel, actually won, I don't think she won the Booker Prize for at least 2 of the trilogies. This one and the second one, Bringing Up the Bodies, and then the third one just came out. So now I feel more motivated than ever because the whole trilogy is complete. It's kind of a good time to read it. But, it's also like when you make that kind of proclamation, like, I am doing this, and people hear you, and I haven't yet done it. Because new books just keep cropping up. That's the problem. So
sometimes if you make that, like, you declare, I'm going to read this book, it does help you and force you to read it. Like I've just said, I unfroze my hold, I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
No one's going to
I just said this
or not, but
I just said this very publicly again, right? So we should all be reading the books that we're talking about today. So Christopher, what is the book that you never get to?
Well, I've had this book next to my bed for many, many years. It's Consider Phlebas by Ian Banks. And Ian Banks he's an accomplished, well-known science fiction author. His first book was called The Wasp Factory, which was a bit controversial. Consider Phlebas is his first book in this kind of shared universe of books that he made. But unlike a lot of series, all the books kind of stand independent to each other. They take place in different times, they have different perspectives. And so I've wanted to get into this book for a long time. It was recommended by a friend of mine, and I just haven't. Why? I think I'm not a great reader of genre books. I think I have trouble sometimes getting into them. I've actually started the book. I'm here. So now that means I have to go back and start all over again because it's been so many years. And so I really want to give it a try because it's a well-respected book and I'm curious to see if I'm going to enjoy it or not. But of course, it's almost 500 pages, so it's a bit of an investment, but I will give it a try. So I'm making my declaration as well.
We're in trouble now.
I know.
And Well, part of my issue with not reading is there's just so many things to read, especially like working at the library. I have access and I'm around so many things all the time. And if I'm ordering books and reading reviews, when people recommend things, I follow so many like online sources for book advisory. It's just hard to, But,
yeah, I find that my list, my kind of to be read list just keeps getting interrupted, and I could be strict. I could write them down and just read from that list, but that's too hard.
Right. Well, if you've got a comment or you'd like to tell us what book you never get to, you can go to the AADL site and let us know. We'd love to hear what's on your mind with this topic. And coming up next is, what author have you read all or lots of books by? And until then, we'll see you next time. Bye.